I've been dabbling with the idea of doing vlogging for a long time, but I haven't found mostly the time for it, kind of the effort. And here we go. We're just going to jump into it. So today I want to talk about the problems of being a young adult. Not going to be like the first world problems or anything like that, but kind of what the struggles are of being unprepared through high school and college for life after that, this young adult period where you have a lot of things to learn very quickly or you're gonna kind of suffer. So the first two kind of go hand in hand. So there's paying bills and budgeting. When it comes to these things, there's such little that is taught in high school, college, and generally parenting in general towards these things. Some families will give you allowances, but this, that, and the other. Most of the time, you're kind of taken care of up till the day you graduate college and get your first job, and you are forced almost to kind of go on your own and see how things work out. And it's not fun. Paying bills is hard because you're trying to track down all these other things. I use a website called mint.com to help me out, and it's really simplified things. But without a tool like that, it would get really difficult. I remember growing up, my mom would have to balance the checkbook, and it was such an interesting thing to learn. We have such tools to help us, such as Mint, that are great, but it's still difficult because we're not really taught. I have so many friends that spend exorbitant amount of money on food because either they have a job now or they're still getting income from their parents or something of the sort. And it's interesting because you have to learn almost instantaneously how to keep a budget, right? How to put your wants versus your needs and figure out the most efficient system. And it's absolutely fascinating. I feel like this is something we should really be teaching that hasn't been taught yet. Another thing is insurance. So the concept of insurance is something that has never made sense to me. I'm a very logic-based person, and the logic of it is kind of silly. I see it as as society, we need to take care of those that are struggling, and when you're not struggling, you could carry a little bit more of the weight. But that's just a personal opinion. I just think it's absolutely crazy that as a male under 25 with no accident history or no tickets, I'm paying exorbitant amount of money. Exorbitant because I can't speak English. Just a large sum of money a month. More than I pay, almost double what I pay really for my car each month. It's just absolutely fascinating. And the concept of life insurance and health insurance and dental and all these things I feel like are so convoluted and all over the place. And I feel like we should first fix that system and second kind of adjust how we teach these things, because I was never taught about that outside the home. College itself is something I feel like should be addressed because we go through 12 years of schooling, sometimes 13 on up, in this formal school that's almost hyper inefficient. It's really sad. I love education. I love teaching. I've worked in the education system, and I feel like there's so many things wrong with it. So much, like exactly what we're bringing up here, things that are just not taught, as well as things that are almost unnecessary. For example, once we're in this, post-secondary education, this college state, you're forced to take 2 years of schooling that you don't really need, to be perfectly honest. For example, I took a meteorology class from a great professor, but the usefulness of that class in my day-to-day life is little. If I have a question about the weather, I'm going to go to weather.com and they're going to break it down, for me. If I have any other questions, I'm just going to Google it. And to think that I paid $600, in tuition, books, etc. for that one class is kind of demeaning. It makes me feel as if I kind of got gamed into taking these classes that are unnecessary. I feel like college in general should be very, specialized and help the person get really good at what they want to learn at, and then immediately, if they don't like that, go back into it and continue learning, not racking up these billions of dollars of student debt, but being efficient with how we teach people and help them learn about these things that we're talking about today and assisting them. Another thing is making friends. So in high school, you are surrounded by a group of friends, like a bubble, right? And you can leave that bubble and come back, and it's all good because you see these people every day. And for better or for worse, that's just how it is. In college, your bubble's a little expanded, and then you become an adult, and that bubble pops. Because you don't always want to hang out with your work friends. You aren't sure where to make other friends. Most of your high school friends are completely gone. Most of your college friends are gone, and it's just a difficult time to make friends. And I outside of church for me is the only place I can really find friends, and outside of that, it's really difficult. I don't personally enjoy drinking, so I don't like going to bars, and I don't really feel like it'd be fun to meet people in that environment where it's kind of hard to hear. And it's just really difficult. I feel like we should really prepare ourselves on how to make friends, and as a society create activities that allow these young adults to meet each other and form these connections and network efficiently. This leads me directly into the pinnacle of young adult problems, which is dating, right? I see dating as a means to where we can get to know other people. Done. That's it. Simple, easy, nothing crazy. However, dating has almost been turned into a one-night experience with very little substance after the fact. And, I'm not here to preach or to judge. I'm only here to just make statements and try to figure out how we can better improve things. I've tried my best to avoid situations where I cut a relationship short because of, a negative experience, but I feel like the best way we can fix dating is teach our youth and our kids that we can meet other people in a group environment or, a solo environment and get to know them, and, as a man, treat a woman with respect, and as a woman, treat a man with respect. And enjoy these experiences. Go out and experience life. You don't have to just, chill, if you know what I mean, every single time. You can experience life and really get to know someone and see how they interact with different groups of people. I think this is incredibly key and something that's completely non-existent in the dating world, especially where I live here in Atlanta. The dating scene, it just doesn't exist. If you don't want to go to a bar or a nightclub or something, you're kind of stuck on a rut. And then you have to turn to dating apps where most of those people are looking for singular experience, and, someone in my position, that's not what I'm interested in. So I feel like we should really do a good job, do a better job, honestly, educating our high schoolers and college kids about what dating is and why we do it. The fact that it's a preparation for marriage and finding that person that you want to spend your life with, if that's what you choose. Another thing I think is absolutely fascinating is the maturing process through life, right? We all will go through different experiences. We'll all have highs and lows. Some people more highs, some people more lows, and that's just how life is. We all, kind of take what we get, and it's how we deal with that really make us who we are. But I feel like there's a huge disparity between those that mature in high school or college or even in this young adult phase and those that just never really grow up. And it's okay to be who you are. You always want to be yourself, but I feel like we don't educate our youth and kids to show them why it's important to have a fun, bit about you, but also be mature and be professional. I see so many people just out of college and, being young professionals that have no clue that they're allowed to be dynamic and they're allowed to mature. And they don't have to, keep being this person they were when they were a kid. I think it's super important as we try to better our society, better the world, that we allow these people to grow and to mature in a healthy way without pushing them, but still kind of nudging people forward. These things are just absolutely fascinating to me. We live in some scary times. There's amazing technology, there's amazing people, and there's also a lot of hate and whatnot. I think helping these young adults with these particular problems will allow them to grow and mature and benefit the world more than if we kind of let them be. I'm so grateful for the opportunity I have to make music, take photos, and capture memories. And I hope you enjoyed this start of the series. If you want to see more, please click subscribe. You can check out my music on Spotify, iTunes, and all those things. Also, you can check out my website at djgray.com. I hope that you have a great day, and let's fix these problems for this group.